This is Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review, and this is your World Cup of Hockey betting preview. In this video, we're going to look at the Monday night game between Russia and North America, as well as the two Tuesday games in the World Cup of Hockey. Rivalry day on Tuesday, September the 20th, I guess you could say, here in the World Cup of Hockey tournament. You got Sweden versus Finland, Scandinavian rivalry. Those two countries have a big hockey rivalry. And then, of course, Canada and the United States on Tuesday. We'll talk about all three games here in this video. Let's start with the Monday night game, 8 p.m. Eastern. Russia taking on North America. In my first World Cup of Hockey video here at Sportsbook Review, I recommended a bet on North America over Finland. And boy, did they ever get the job done, and did they ever look impressive in victory. North America with a 4-1 win over Finland, registering over 40 shots on goal. And really, what impressed me is that all four lines contributed. Great balance in their scoring. The top line that everyone's been excited to see. Connor McDavid, Mark Scheifele, and Austin Matthews, the number one overall pick. They got on the score sheet early with that first goal for North America, and then it seemed like the rest of the team followed suit, and I was just impressed with the speed, the creativity. More than anything else, their defensive play was a lot better than I thought it would, and their goaltending was really good. Matt Murray, he didn't face a ton of shots in that game, but when he did, he was solid in net for North America, and this is a team that I had pegged coming into the tournament that could be a dark horse in this tournament, especially if they could show signs of playing solid on the defensive end of the ice. And boy, did they ever do that in that win against Finland, 4-1, dominating in every facet of the game, really, for that victory. Now they take on Russia, and Russia, don't be fooled by that score on Sunday. A 2-1 loss to Sweden. They scored with less than a minute to go to get on the board and cut that deficit to 1. But couldn't get the tying goal. Not an impressive performance from Russia. They looked lethargic. They looked out of sorts, out of sync, whatever the case may be. And I don't like their coaching. And it's been this way at these international tournaments all the time. They don't match lines. They don't play their top players more than the rest of the team, which they should, especially when they're trailing in a game like they were for most of that game against Sweden. All they do is roll four lines. It's ridiculous. I mean, you need goals. You need to come back. Play your top guys more. Double shift them if you have to. You need goals. You need to get back into the game. You can't just roll four lines. They don't match lines. They just have a weird way of doing things, Russia. That's just the way it is, especially from a coaching standpoint. They just roll four lines. They don't match lines. They don't try to get their top players out on the ice, especially when trailing in a game. It's bizarre, and I think it's going to come back to hurt them in this tournament. Now, this is a situation where maybe desperation is on Russia's side. They don't want to go 0-2. You're in a situation in this tournament, quick three-game round-robin tournament, where if you go 0-2, your chances of advancing to the semifinals are all of a sudden slim and potentially none. So this is desperation time for Russia, but North America's minus 115 in this game at bookmaker/Chris. That's the side I'm inclined to bet here. I mean, I think North America is going to be a little bit too quick for Russia. I didn't like what I saw from Russia. They weren't ready to play against Sweden. They came out very slow. I like this North America team. I think minus 115, especially when the home ice crowd is really going to be on their side. Again, this tournament in Toronto, there's going to be a lot more North American supporters there for Team North America than for Russia in this game, that's for sure. I think North America can get another victory. And let's not forget, Russia, in international tournaments, they've got a history of flaming out early, getting knocked out early, so it wouldn't surprise me. They've given me no recent history that, this is something that they can bounce back from. So, yeah, I'm going to bet North America here, minus 115 against Russia. I know Russia's is the team with their back against the wall here. Usually I like to back the team that lost their previous game over the team that won their previous game, but I just think North America's feeling it right now. Like what I'm seeing, I'm going to go with North America over Russia, maybe sending the Russians home packing after Monday night. All right, the two games taking place on Tuesday. Great slate on Tuesday. Sweden and Finland on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday, September 20. Very fascinating game. You've got Sweden with that 2-1 win over Russia. They controlled that game most of the way. And on the flip side, Finland facing that, as we just mentioned, that young, speedy, very talented North America team, losing 4-1 and really getting dominated. But, You get these two teams matching up. It'll be interesting to see, if Henrik Lundqvist is ready to go in net for Sweden. He didn't play in the opener. Jacob Markstrom played instead. And that's even more shocking, too, was with Russia struggling there. So Jacob Markstrom was in net, and they still only managed to score in the last minute of the third period. So more troubles there for Russia. But, Henrik Lundqvist, we'll see if he's back for this game. Either way, I'm willing to give Finland a little bit of a mulligan, I guess you could say, for getting dominated by North America. I thought Finland would actually be more competitive with North America than they were. I mean, I didn't expect them to just get dominated in puck possession, shots on goal, and territorial play the way they were. But I think they're going to answer the bell here. These two teams usually play close, tight games, and we see this current line now. Finland, Sweden minus 260 on the money line, Finland plus 210 on the money line. I think better than that, you can get Finland plus 1.5 for a small price on the puck line in this game, and that's the way I'm going to be betting this game. I'm going to look toward Finland plus 1.5 goals. You're going to have to wait to see when these lines become widely available, because the frustrating part about this tournament is some books have all the lines available for Tuesday right now. Some don't. Some have, the spread, or the money line and the totals of the games available, but some don't give you the puck lines yet. It's very, very aggravating trying to figure out which books have what for these World Cup of Hockey games. But what I can tell you is if you have a sports book with the puck line option, I would look toward Finland plus 1.5 goals, around minus 135, minus 140. In that price range, maybe even a small bite on Finland at the money line price as well, at around plus 210, plus 220. But I think Finland is going to keep this game close. They have to win it just about. They're in the same boat as Russia, trying to avoid going 0-2 in this tournament. That's a spot you don't want to be in, because you could be out and not have a chance to get to the semifinals. So I would lean Finland here, plus 1.5 goals. Minus 135. I think it's a one-goal game either way. I think it's going to be a close game, tight game, a very competitive game. So I'll go with Finland, plus 1.5 goals against Sweden on Tuesday. And we'll wrap this video up with the USA and Canada. What a great game this should be. I was shocked that the United States was that flat for their opener against Team Europe. I was. I know it's Team Europe. I know it's a bunch of guys, combining to form a team from, players from Germany, Slovakia, Switzerland, Norway, Denmark, countries like that, combining here to form this Team Europe. Maybe the USA just didn't have that motivation, that intensity that was needed. You see, Team Europe, we don't really have much of a, disdain for them or whatever, rivalry or anything like that. Still hard to explain how poor they were in that game. 3-0 Europe victory. USA did shoot Europe heavily, 35-17. We do have to give the European goaltender Yaroslav Halak a lot of credit. He played great. There's no question about that. But still, a lot of those shots were not quality shots. They weren't getting inside. A lot of them were from the periphery, from the outside. Europe played very, very well structurally. Yaroslav Halak was able to see a lot of the shots that the U.S. threw at him. They're going to have to ramp it up here, and I think Canada's actually the opponent that can get the U.S.'s attention. I think they're going to be fired up for this. Another team like Russia, like Finland, they don't want to go 0-2. They know their chances are slim and none of advancing to the semifinals if they go 0-2 in this tournament. So I think the United States will bring that effort, will bring that intensity, will play a much better game here in this one. Question is, will it be enough? I mean, if anyone watched Canada do an absolute tap dance over the Czech Republic on Saturday, you know how good Canada is. It's they're the favorite to win this tournament. They just absolutely dominated the Czechs 6-0. They way more shots than the Czechs and completely shut them down defensively. 50-27. 50-27, the shots on goal in favor of Canada. It was just complete domination of a solid Czech team. I mean, the Czechs aren't, chopped liver. they've got a solid group of players too. But for Canada to just dominate them like that, 6-0, very impressive. Carey Price looked as sharp as ever. He had that one rusty performance in the exhibition round, but since then he's looked really good in net for Canada. And what can you say? I mean, their defense is loaded. I mean, Brent Burns, Drew Doughty, Shea Weber, Bouwmeester comes in and plays well. Look at up front. I mean, all the weapons: Taves, Tavares, Getzlaf, Bergeron, Logan Couture, Crosby, Brad Marchand. It goes on and on and on with this team. So much depth. Forward, defense, great goaltending, one of the best in the world in Carey Price. It's going to be an uphill battle for the U.S. That being said, U.S. gives Canada fits. I mean, they played Canada pretty tough in the exhibition round. Their backs are against the wall. They're disgusted with the way they played against Europe 3-0. I think they answer the bell here. We see Canada around minus 300 on the money line. There's no way I'm laying that price with Canada, even though obviously if they bring their A game, they can win this game. That's still too high of a price for my blood. Plus 240 with the U.S. on the money line. We're going to avoid the money line. We're going to go puck line, just like we did with the last game. I'm going to go with the plus 1.5 goals at minus 120, minus 125 in that range with Team USA to keep this game close. If they lose by a goal, we cash our ticket. If they sneak out the win, we cash our ticket. Either way, I think they show up here. This team is more talented than that 3-0 shutout loss to Europe would indicate. And let's not forget, they still heavily outshot Europe. They just got to do a better job of getting higher quality scoring chances, higher quality shots on goal, better looks at the net than they got against Europe. So I'm going to recommend USA plus 1.5 goals on the puck line and around that minus 120, minus 125 price range to give Canada everything they can handle on Tuesday night. All right, that's going to wrap it up. That is my look at the World Cup of Hockey for the games on Monday, September 19th and Tuesday, September 20th. I'll be back with more World Cup of Hockey betting coverage later in the week. I'm Ian Cameron for Sportsbook Review.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.